I belong to what is called Imdad Khani or Itawa Gharana, or of some of us recently would like to call it Vilayat Khani Gharana. So first let me explain to you why these different nomenclatures of our Gharana. Imdad Khan Sahab was the first musician in our Gharana who started, according to what we understand, Surbahar and Sitar, which he learned from his father, Sahabdad Khan. Prior to that, Torab Khan and the Mool Purush, being Sarojan Singh, were, as we are told, vocalists. So Sahabdad Khan apparently started Surbahar and Sitar, which was followed up by Imdad Khan Sahab. But because Imdad Khan Sahab, in a sense, started a new trend, that's why the Gharana started being called Imdad Khani Gharana. And because he stayed in Itawa, it was also known as Itawa Gharana. Later on, Inayat Khan Sahab, Imdad Khan Sahab's son, and Wahid Khan Sahab, his younger brother, both also created quite a history in sitar playing and surbahar playing. But they basically stayed in Calcutta and then later on in Bombay. These were traditional musicians, and therefore they played very traditional ragas. It is stated that Imdad Khan Sahab had almost mastered Yaman and Puriya. And any festival, any conference where Imdad Khan Sahab was featured, people would avoid playing these two ragas because they were stamped by Imdad Khan and he was considered to be perfect as far as these two ragas are concerned. So our Gharanas believed more in quality rather than in quantity. They did not believe in playing many ragas. They concentrated on a few ragas, and one of them was Bihag. And that is why I selected Rag Bihag to play today in its right from Alap up to Jhala. Bihag, as we all know, has two versions. One is what we call Purana Bihag, and the other one which is called contemporary or modern Bihag. The difference between the two is that the Purana Bihag uses Tivra Madhyam very rarely and only to beautify the movements rather than treating it as an important part of the scale. While the modern Bihag uses Tivra Madhyam very frequently and very prominently. Some people believe that Tivra Madhyam was an addition from the Middle East. The musicians who came in from the Middle East added Tivra Madhyam to ragas like Bihag, ragas like Kedar, ragas like Sarang, and so on. So the Kedar and the Navshuddh Sarang has the very prominent Tivra Madhyam and so on. The rag which I played, I tried to develop the alapi in our traditional style of our Gharana. I had divided it into Alap, Jod, Gat and Jhala. Again, in Alap I had divided it into Sthai, Antara, Sanchari and Abhog. And in Gatkam I had divided it into Gatkam, as we call it, and then in Tans. Before that, I beg your pardon, in Jod Kam I played Madjod, Ati Jod. I had deliberately avoided Jod in the Vilambit Lay. And then I played Jhala at the end. This is the manner in which this rag was selected. The guts which I played, one gut was a traditional gut, the other gut was Sarod gut, and the third gut which I played in Drut was Imdad Khani gut, or Imdad Khan Sahab has played this gat on his 78 RPM record. Having explained why I played Bihag, I would now like to clarify why the manner in which we developed Bihag in the sections of Alap, Jod, Gat and Jhala. To take Alap first, Alap is divided in our Gharana according to 4 sections. One is the Sthai, other is the Antara, third is the Sanchari, and fourth is Abhog. However, before we go into the regions which I explained, I would like to clarify how we improvise. Firstly, it would be easily understood that Sa is the foundation of any rag. And therefore, in using Ustad's terms, Pehle Sa ki Zameen banao. What is the meaning of Sa ki Zameen banao? Which means that the floor, the foundation of Sa must be created first. And therefore, all phrases which you play must end on Sa, signifying that the real foundation is Sa. Once that is over, then you go to the next subject, and that is you go into the lower octave. And because I played Bihag, I will explain my observations would be focused on Pancham, which would be the next line of a development. So, as you will see, every phrase is ending on Sa. We always create a counterpoint. This is the way we develop, firstly to build the foundation in Sa. Once that is over, the subject is changing, and because the subject is changing, there has to be an indication that we are changing the subject. And what do we play? We play what we call Mohara, which means this Mohara has been adopted from Drupad. In Drupad, they always have Mohara when the subjects are changing. Normally, when people are questioned as to why Mohara, the normal answer is that it's a punctuation to indicate that one subject is over and the second subject is starting. In my opinion, it has 2 additional roles to play, which frankly I have not heard from people, but this is my own thinking. It will be appreciated that any wonderful alap, howsoever beautiful, howsoever sweet, howsoever effective and pleasant to the ears, has diminishing returns. When you have one phrase, it's very beautiful. Just as you are taking soup, for instance, the first spoon is most tasty, then the last spoon. So there is an area of diminishing returns. Now we know that in alap, there is no discernible lie. And I am saying discernible because there is an indiscernible lie, which I call 8, which we will explain later. But the indiscernible lie is converted into discernible lie by Mohara. We have got and thirdly, there is a sum. Ni, ni, re, sa. So what is happening is that the monotony created by playing 5 or 6, monotony is perhaps too strong a word, but the diminishing returns through which the alap stage would suffer, to avoid that and to break that, the Mohara is introduced. So it's not only a question of a punctuation mark, but it is also to create a break from the alap's form. Okay. Then we go into the lower octave, then we gradually go according to the scale of the rag concerned. And in this particular case, as you know, now there is a concept of Vadi and Samvadi. I would ask classical musicians that the concept implies that Vadiswar is the most important note in a particular rag, and that the Samvadi is little less important than Vadi, and Anuvadi are all the rest notes, Vivadi are those notes which are not taken or which are avoided in the scale. I have a slight problem with this definition. Whilst playing, I don't think that the musician gives more importance to Vadi than Samvadi. They are both treated, in my opinion, with the equal emphasis. Now, if you have got here Gandhar and Pancham, Gandhar and Nishad, whatever, we are treating them both with equal importance, equal emphasis and equal focus. Therefore, I would rather call them, as Ustad would call them, Thairne ki jagah, या to call it in English, melodic centers. I would prefer to call that there are 2 melodic centers in a particular rag rather than calling Vadis. For students learning, it's fine to say Vadi, Samvadi, Vadi is in Purvang, Samvadi is in Uttarang and so on. So we go on then developing, gradually unfolding the rag. From Sa we go to Gandhar. Rishabh is not a melodic center. Then we go on to Pancham, then we go on to Shuddha Nishad, and then go on up to the Sa. Now, Sthai portion we have developed from Sa into the lower octave up to the middle octave. Antara, from the middle octave we go to the upper octave. So what we have done is that almost the entire Maidan, if you like to call it, is now being treated by the musician with the effect, with the affection and with the analytical ability of the musician, that it has been now completely opened out. तो पूरा मैदान open हो गया है, the entire surface is now open, and therefore we start with Sanchari. Sanchar means only to move freely. Abhi, whatever I had learnt earlier was that there are sweeps of notes. There are sweeps. The Drupad people, we must have seen that Drupad people are quite adept in going on to on these sweeps. I find that there are 2 more elements in Sanchari. It's not only sweeps. Firstly, there are complete phrases and not small phrases like Alap. In Sanchari, what we would do, there is a complete phrase, not a complete idea broken into 2, 3, 4 phrases. So first is that in Sanchari we play phrases and not broken up phrases. Secondly is that the speed at which you are executing in Sanchari as compared to the Alap, the speed is slightly faster. And the third thing is, of course, the sweeps. So the Sanchari is a complete Maidan, and so you don't go according to melodic center. Now you are free play. You have got the entire Maidan which is open, 2.5 or 3 scales, whatever the musician is capable of. And then Abhog. What is the meaning of Abhog? Somebody has very aptly described, Thakur Jaidev Singh has very aptly described that Abhog means contentment. Abhog means complete satisfaction. So what is happening is that we have opened the rag in Sthai, then we have treated in Antara, then we have treated the entire Maidan. Now we want to come back home where we started from. We started from Sa. So from upper octave in Abhog, we gradually, melodic center to melodic center to melodic center, we come back home. Firstly, we treat Sa. Then Pancham. Then there is a summit, as we call it. That's the end. We have come back home. Our philosophy teaches us that our journey ends where you started from. Take Theka, Nadi Ninda, Nadi. Ultimately, you start from number one. The ending is at number one, and you start from number one. We have started from Sa, and our journey is completely coming back to Sa. So, Abhog, when you complete back, then what you have done is a complete circle. You have Sthai, and you have got Antara, you have got Sanchari, and you ended with Abhog. And because of that, the sense of contentment, the fulfillment is available. So there are 4 stages. Now in each stage, how do we develop? It's something very interesting. What I found out was, in our Gharana, Vilayat Khan Sahib especially, treated the phrases in 2 different streams. These streams I call melodic stream and geometric stream. Now you will ask me, what is the meaning of that? I will explain to you. This is purely melodic stream. This you are developing. Now once you have opened out, you can have geometric design building like that's why सवाल जवाब की गायकी कहते हैं. जवाब This is what I call geometric design building. So once you have played melodic design 2 or 3 or 4 times, then you come to design building to break again the monotony. So सवाल जवाब These are all techniques which are employed. So we are using melodic and then we are using geometric design building. But it ends in what? It ends in what we call subject building. We are building a subject. How we are building a subject? For instance, now we have taken this as the subject. So we do subject building and then use the melodic stream and the geometric stream to build that subject. This is how that's why when the question is asked to me, Can improvisation be taught? My answer is yes and no. Improvisation conceptually can be taught. As I explained to you, the melodic stream, the geometric stream and subject building, yeah. But the content of improvisation cannot be taught. It has to be impulsive and it is according to your talim. So much as far as the alap portion is concerned. And as I explained, we go from melodic center to melodic center. Then we go up to the antara and then come back. When we come back also we go absolutely according to melodic centers. We don't खासा बोले गिरो नहीं, धीरे धीरे एक एक स्टेप लेकर के आओ. So this is the way the alap is developed. The next stage is jod. Now we have noticed that the alap speed, we have increased the speed in Sanchari and above. Jod starts little higher speed than Sanchari. So there is a step. Alap speed, then we have got Sanchari abhog speed, and then we enter into the Jod speed. Now Jod is developed into three sections: Jod, Madh Jod, Ati Jod. Really speaking, the Jod has been developed again from the Nomtom of Drupad. Now whether Drupad adopted Nomtom from Bean or Bean adopted it from Drupad is a controversy we need not enter into. But the fact does remain that the Nomtom alap and the Jod alap of sitar has great affinity, and again the same way they have got Nomtom in one speed, then higher speed and then higher speed. Similarly we develop the Jod. The idea is there are different left hand techniques are used to develop the Jod kam. And as far as why Jod, what is the meaning of Jod? Jod means a pair. So when we are playing the 1, 2, 1, 2. So it goes on, that's why it is known as Jod. Some people say because the Jod string is used, that's why, but I don't subscribe to that view. 1, 2, 1, 2, and it is a progressive rhythm, it's not a circular rhythm. It goes, and then initially, this is Jod, then Madh Jod, and then Ati Jod. In Ati Jod, Vilayat Khan Sahib, as far as we are concerned, has introduced 2 or 3 different types. He has introduced, we play tans, what we call chikari perforated tans. Now you will see that we are playing chikari in between. These are called perforated tans, and then Khan Sahib has introduced what we call ulta jhala. The Sida jhala is, which all know, ulta jhala. So there is 1 stroke on chikari and 3 strokes on. This is the way the Jod is developed. Then we go to the Gat. The Gat portion, there are 2 dimensions in the Gat. One is the Vilambit Gat and then is the Drut Gat. The Vilambit Gat, our students found it very difficult when they start the Vilambit Gat. After the Gat is played, how can you develop that particular area before going to tans? It becomes it's a sort of a no man's land, so to say. What I noticed was that old traditional sitar players, they were playing what they call gattode. Gattodas were played in Vilambit Gat, which was in 1 to 2. The speed was dha, dhin, dhin. And the gattodes were played in dha, dhin, dha, dhin. It was played in double the speed of the tabla. The tans are usually played in 4 times the speed of the theka, or sometimes 6 times, 6 gun. But in Gat Toda, I divide it into 4 sections. I call it Gat Kam. Firstly, I believe that whatever gat you play should be beautified. The gat itself should be beautified. For instance, if you are playing now same. So the beautification of the gat can be done by playing around with the rhythm as well as playing around with the various notes that the scale or the rag scale uses. The next is behlawa. I call it behlawa to break the monotony. We play almost like sanchari. We play without rhythm. Then the third thing is the gattode itself. These are basically on the peshkar of tabla. Dinta, dha dinta, dhate, dhate, dha dha dinta. So this is the way Gattoda is played, and then of course we enter the tans. Then we go into jhala. It is really speaking, jhala in my opinion is a great invention of Indian music because the right hand is playing rhythm and the left hand is doing alap at the same time. You can see it's left hand is doing alap and the right hand doing this rhythm. There is a beautiful synergy between these two, and then we go on increasing. In Indian music, as you know, we start at the slowest tempo or indiscernible tempo and add at the fastest tempo that the musician is capable of, the instrumental is capable of. This is the way the entire rag is developed in alap, then in jod, then in gat and in jhala. These are the four sections with the sitar players, many instrumentalists including sarod etc. develop. So much is the analysis of our gharana.